Good morning, and welcome to another show of Dynasty or Bust. I am your host, LaDonna, and I have a special guest. Can you say hi? This is my son, Tariq. Um, if many of you know, he is always usually pops up on my show. He pops up on my show all the time. And yeah, he's here today. I don't know how long he's going to be here, but he is here. He just woke up. Can you say hi? You're not gonna tell people hi? No. You're just gonna stare at yourself? You're just gonna stare at yourself? Yeah. Well, we have an important show today. Today's show, we are going to talk about tight ends and wide receivers, top 20 of both. And we are also going to talk about sleepers of both positions. Uh, if anybody wants to come in and talk and ask questions, they can do so. But we can definitely, I think I lost my partner. He saw food. You can definitely do so. I am live on YouTube on Strictly Prohibited Network. Um, you can find me and on Facebook. I have a group that specifies just in fantasy sports, and it is everything fantasy, everything sports fantasy. Um, so, like I said, it's going to be a fun-filled show, and my partner's back eating, so ignore him. But this is my partner in crime. You ready? You ready to talk about some wide receivers this morning? Yeah, your uncles are going to like this one. My number one uh, wide receiver as of right now, because it could all change. But if you are drafting and you still got a draft coming up, which I have one tomorrow, and then I have a couple next week, and then a couple after that. I think I have like five teams now. I need to stop. One's free. But number one wide receiver, Julio Jones from Atlanta. Woo! Waffle House. Your uncles will like that if they see this. They'll like that. Number two, DeAndre Hopkins from Houston. Number three, Odell Beckham. I heard that he's dealing with a slight injury, but it's nothing major. So I would not be too worried about that. Devontae Adams is, I really truly believe, is going to have a big year for Green Bay at number four. Michael Thomas, number five, from New Orleans. I will say this, and I'm only going to say this, it's not in a bad way, but usually when somebody signs a big contract, that next after the contract, they don't look so good. So maybe Michael Thomas can break that jinx, but I'm not for sure if he can. We shall see. Tyreek Hill, number six from Kansas City. I do think he is going to have a great season with them, especially now he's not going to be he's not going to be suspended. So I definitely do think he needs, because that's they have some running backs, don't get me wrong. I do like the running backs, but this is Tyreek Hill, and we will talk about his other half in a second. Then we are going to my dude, Juju. I like Juju. I really, 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 really do like Juju. I like Juju a lot. I understand that he's going to be double teamed, and as I spoke about, um, I have one of his backups as a sleeper. I will talk about that in a little bit, but I'm definitely interested on how he's going to do. I think he is going to do well without Antonio Brown. But again, he is going to get double teamed, so you have to know that when it comes to picking up Juju this year. He's not, he'll get his 1,000 yards, but it's just going to be a little bit harder if one of his backups, well, not I want to say backup, but his number 2 and number 3 receiver do not join the group and do not flash like they're supposed to. Number 8 is Mike Evans. Number 9, T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. I'm a little scared of, not because of him, but because of his quarterback situation. Last week I had Luck up there, and now Luck is iffy. And this plays a big part on T.Y. Hilton's day-to-day. And we don't know if he's going to be there. All we know is that he's not going to be playing this season. Not this season, but this preseason. That's all we know about Andrew Luck. Hopefully it does not go into the season, because if it does, it's going to hurt T.Y. Hilton's numbers. Antonio Brown is my number 10, and that's with the asterisk mark. That's because his name is Antonio Brown, but we all know he has this foot injury happening, and so we have to play cautious when you want to draft him. Would I still draft him in the first round? No, but I think he would be a good steal in the third if he's still available, because, again, we do not know when he's coming back with his extremely frostbitten toes. I heard it's pretty bad, so we shall see. Number 11 is Amari Cooper. He has a plantar fasciitis injury. He said it's nothing serious, and he did say that it's going to be big. I mean, it's not going to be a major thing. He's going to play. Matt is saying that if it's frostbitten, he might be gone a month or two. But the month of month of August, and when it happened, so if it's a month, that would still put him in September, October area, if Matt is on his P's and Q's, which he normally is. And then we have Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is also hurt. He'll miss probably the rest of the preseason. I don't think it's another thing that's not too major. Number 13 is Adam Thielen from Minnesota. I do think he's going to do big, and he helped me with my fantasy last year, so why can't I put him on here this year? Number 14, Brandon Cooks from the Rams. Again, between him and Kupp, it's unstoppable. And then Stephon Diggs for Minnesota. Both of them, Adam Thielen and Stephon, had great seasons last year. So I had both of them on one team. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I got it, but I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed every bit of it. And so number 16 is Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp had a great season until he got hurt last year. And so that's why I put him back on here. Him and Goff have a great chemistry together. So again, if you try to get their number 1 receiver, if you try to get the quarterback, I always try to do this every fantasy team. I try to get their number 1 receiver, number 1 running back, or number 1 number 1 tight end, so they know who to run, who to get to the ball to. Next is Tyler Lockett for Seattle. Number 18, everybody's been talking about him, as Chris Goodwin for Tampa Bay. What I've been seeing with Tampa Bay, it kind of looks like the same Tampa Bay. I understand it's preseason. They don't want to really show you much, but I'm still kind of worried about Tampa Bay. Just because it's Jameis Winston, and it doesn't look like the W Eater has really improved on his game. But if you can get the ball to Chris, this is the man to get, this is the other man down there to get it to. Julian Edelman in New England. I guess we can add Josh Gordon to this list because he just got reinstated as of last night. Their wide receiver core looks pretty. I am trying not to laugh at y'all. I can't stand y'all. If you see the comments under my chat, you'll understand why I'm trying not to laugh at these fools. Um, but like I said, their wide receiver core looks pretty stacked. After adding um, Josh Gordon. And then my number 20 is Kerryon Johnson from Detroit. Um, I think this will be great for all of them. Yes, I can't stand y'all. I can't stand y'all at all. But my sleeper picks for some wide receivers. We're not going to talk about tight ends just yet. Because of what is going on. I'm sorry, I'm getting updates as we are speaking, and it's not a good update. It's not a great update, so I'll just ignore it. But I always keep my phone around me for updates. You never know when you're going to get an update because they're popping. My number one sleeper for this season is Kenny Galladay. He is entering his third season with the Lions. He had over 1,000 yards last season, 5 TDs. Yes, he did get time because of Marvin Jones and Kerryon Johnson were both hurt. But now that Theo Riddick is gone and he is hurt too with the Broncos, and Curse just got Jermaine Curse did just get injured in the preseason game. I still think he's going to have great numbers for. He's going to have great numbers for them. Number 2 is James Washington. Like I spoke, he plays for the Steelers. Like I said earlier, if Juju is going to be Juju is going to be double teamed, this is the man that you need to look for. It is James Washington. There's another one that you could possibly look for, and that's Moncrief. But I really do like James Washington. He had a good preseason game versus Tampa, which I think that increased his stock if you watched that game. He's another person that's going to benefit from AB leaving, since they, like I stated earlier, they're going to double team Juju. They're going to try to lock him down. So somebody's going to be open. And I think it's going to be James Washington. Like I said, Moncrief can get the ball, but I really do think they really do like this kid. Number 3 is Geronimo. Hey, say Geronimo. Say. I have to do it every time I hear his song. I mean, hear his name. I have to say it. Geronimo Allison from the Packers. He started off really, really, really hot last season and then couldn't stay healthy. This is kind of play at your own risk type of player. Cobb is gone. He is in Dallas right now, so they have to have a wide receiver to step up besides Devontae Adams, and I think Geronimo Allison can do it. He will be used in the slot this season. The only problem about this, can he stay healthy? I mentioned Josh Gordon. We will talk about Zeke in a second. Y'all are way ahead of the game. But I did mention Josh Gordon. I did say his stock is up there with Julian Edelman. This is what happens when you don't come on time, Dexter. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on. Number 4, it's a duo, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel for the Panthers. I think both of these young receivers are going to have a good season. It's all about Cam and that shoulder. Can it stay healthy? Both of them are getting rave reviews, especially Curtis Samuel. They are both needed because right now they are trying to limit McCaffrey and the goal and in the end zone. They're trying to pass the ball around, and they're trying to limit how many touches he gets. And we all know they're going to try to do everything to stop McCaffrey from getting the ball. So if he is used in the wideout position, or he's getting thrown the ball to. This will leave one of these two open, but I really do. If I had to choose between the one, I would choose Curtis Samuel over DJ Moore. But both of these players are needed for the Panthers. And then number 5 is number 5 is going to be Anthony Miller for the Bears. Miller's entering his sophomore year with the Bears. He will be used also in the slot position. His other wide receivers are Tyler Gabriel and former Jacksonville Allen Robinson. But we all know how Allen Robinson rolls. His history of not staying healthy these last couple seasons might help Anthony Miller a little bit to get more touches if he doesn't, if he play is the same Allen Robinson that we know, which is kind of getting hurt. No offense to Allen, but we just know how you roll. With his skills and Mitch Trubisky to improve what he did on last year, I think Miller is going to have a great season. I guess I will talk about the Zeke situation because I was waiting for you guys to come on. Ezekiel Elliott did fly back. Since we're not talking about running backs today, but I will talk about Zeke because that is my team. Ezekiel Elliott did fly back from Cabo to Dallas last night, and he was spotted on the plane. I had to argue with a couple of folks. How do you know it's Zeke? For one, I know what my running back looks like. 2, I saw his nose ring. For 3, I saw his gold tee. I had to go on and on. How do you know? How do you know? The people that took the picture were Ohio State fans, and they need to know what their running back from Ohio State looked like. So they're not going to they're not going to just mistaken him for anybody else. You could tell by the lady picture that she was geeked, and she is not going to mistaken him from anybody else. As well, I did hear this morning that he is not going to get charged by the Las Vegas police department. They did not find enough evidence to charge him with. So that's another good thing for Ezekiel. From what I'm hearing, that it's one person is stating, I'm not for sure if it, how true or not true it is, but that he is not coming back from negotiations. This came from Mike Fisher from Fisher Sports. He's just coming back to Dallas. We shall see. But moving on, since everybody wanted to bring up the Zeke, we're moving on to tight ends. If you know me, and I love fantasy football, but my least favorite position is this one, and it's tight end. Because if you don't have, I feel like the top 5, maybe top 10 of these tight ends, they won't do nothing for you. They won't get you the points that you are looking for. That's why I like one of my teams. You can draft a tight end, but you do not have to use him. So number 1 tight end, of course, is Travis Kelce for the Kansas City. If you can get Mahomes and Kelce, go for it. Go for it. Number 2 is George Kittle. I saw on Twitter last night that his name is becoming a household name. I do believe that's true. I had him on my team last year. Didn't really use him. But again, we did not have to use tight ends. I just didn't want nobody else to have him. That's pretty much how that felt. So I kind of cuffed him. Hunter Henry for the Chargers. I have him at number 4, but the big question mark is, can he stay healthy? We are not for sure. Kettle with an I. He's not hurt. Like seriously hurt. I would still get him. I think he's just out for the preseason, but he is not hurt for the season. I have not heard anything saying he is not going to play. He is definitely one of those that you need. He is still, like I said, number 2. Number 3 is Zach Ertz. Everybody knows how he can do. Like I said, is number 4. He has the question mark. Can he stay healthy? He has missed some time. O.J. Howard for Tampa Bay. Again, it's all about that quarterback. Can he get the ball to him? Evan Ingram is number 6. Again, can this young man stay healthy for the Giants? Because we know the Giants need him because all they have is a running back for the first 4 weeks. So they need him desperately like they need air. Eric Ebron, number 7, is in Indy. Jared Cook for number 8. People been sleeping on Jared Cook. I do think he's going to do well. And then number 9, Austin Hooper for Atlanta. I was a big Austin Hooper fan last season. I kept telling everybody to watch his numbers. Even my friends that are over here blowing up my chat, that they Austin Hooper was doing really well for them. I really do like him. I really do think he's going to have another breakout season. Number 10 is David Njoku for Cleveland. He had a great season last year. I think he's going to do it well when Cleveland uses the tight end position. Number 11 is Vance McDonald. He is on my sleeper list, and the only reason he's on my sleeper list because he is not in the top 10. I will go in a little bit more depth about him in a little bit. Delaney Walker for Tennessee. He, again, last year was having a great season, and then he got hurt. Delaney Walker will do great again. Get him if you can. Him and Mariota have a great chemistry together. Greg Olsen is still in my top 15. I know he's number 13. But it's Greg Olsen. This man, I watched him on All or Nothing, and I swear he has the strength of a bull, because he had 2 injuries going on with that foot, and he was still willing to play. Plantar fasciitis and like a fracture in the foot. Let me tell you, plantar fasciitis would have me down with just that. So that's all I'm going to say. Jack Doyle is my number 14, Indy, from Indianapolis. Number 15, Kyle Rudolph. Number 16, which I do like him a lot, is Trey Burton for Chicago. He did really well for me last season. So from experience, I know he can get you points. Dallas Goedert from Philadelphia. Jimmy Graham is number 18 for Green Bay. Jordan Reed, Washington. And number 20 is Mark Andrews from Baltimore. I'm not going to repeat some of these comments because they're goofballs. I love them to death, but they're ain't nothing talking about sports over here. Somewhat. If you really want to talk about some sports in my live chat, please come visit me on, like I said, Strictly Prohibited Network on YouTube. That's where I'm at right now. The guys are having a field day in my live chat. They're talking about anything and everything in this chat. They're blaming each other. But like I said, again, it's this is why I'm not paying attention to them, because they're talking about everything but fantasy sports. So I'll just ignore them and let them have their day. A sleeper last year, and I spoke about him just a few minutes ago. Austin Hooper last year had one of the best had the best seasons of his career. Come here. Come here. Want to say hi to your uncles? Come here. He don't want to talk to y'all. I tried. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Yeah, there's my babes. You say hi. You say hi to your uncles. Can you get kisses? Yeah, you get kisses? Can you get kisses? Yeah. He gave y'all kisses, so be happy that y'all got kisses. But back to the show. We're like I stated, Austin Hooper had one of his best seasons of his career last season. I think he is a hidden gem, and he should benefit from everybody trying to double team Julio and Calvin Ridley, and Sanu, because we cannot forget about Sanu. So this should leave him open with more opportunities to get the ball. Besides that, Atlanta did get a new OC, so I expect his numbers to go up. And this OC did like tight ends, from what I'm hearing. If I'm wrong, let me know. Mike, Dex, but I'm really hearing that this new offensive coordinator for Atlanta does like to use the tight ends a lot in his schemes. Number 2 is the guy, Vance McDonald. I have him. He is another player that's, again, is going to benefit from the double team of Juju. His numbers will increase since Jesse James is not on the team. Not on the team no more. He's back there singing. I don't know what he's singing, but he's back there singing or having a full conversation with his dad in the background. His numbers could soar if the other wide receivers or Juju could not get open. He is Big Ben's favorite target on the third down situations. So look for that if you're thinking about getting Vance. Think about that. No, Jesse James is not on the team no more. I don't know where Jesse James is. Jesse, I already saw it coming because Jesse James was not being used. Vance McDonald came in and basically took his spot. So I don't know where he is. I really don't. He's around here somewhere. Oh, he's with the Lions. He's with the Lions. So you can Team Rocket is Lions. CJ Uzma, Bengals. Uzma is not a starter, but we know for the Bengals who the starter is, which is Tyler Eifert. We all know he can't stay healthy. It's just when will CJ be used? AJ Green being out, we know it's AJ Green being out, and I think he'll still be used, but I just how much. But Eifert, it's only a matter of time of when he goes down, and this position will open to CJ. CJ, even though the Bengals didn't really use the tight end position right after Tyler went down, he still had like over 400 yards. I'm not saying get him the first round, but if you need somebody just for a week, there you go. Chris Harridan for the Jets, although he is suspended for the first 4 games because of a DWI, I still think he's going to have a productive year. Last season, he had 500 yards with 4 TDs in his first season. So if you need a backup just for like that week, here you go. Again, this is just a guy I think you're going to be not needing the whole season. This is like kind of a play at your own risk type of guy because it is the Jets. No offense to Brian Jones, but he knows how his quarterback is. But I do think he'll get you the points for your bye week tight end if you need him. And number 5 is the biggest if. Is Jordan Reed. The main factor of Reed's career is for him to stay healthy. again, this is another play at your own risk type of player. Redskins fans love to love him, but then love to hate him when he goes down. Well, he goes down pretty much almost every year. I think last year he had like the longest uh, healthy season in his career. But he'll get you points. He'll definitely get you points. And especially if you're in a PPR, this guy right here, he'll get you those points that you need for that week. Like I said, I don't know if I would play him weekly. I don't trust him. I really don't trust him like that at all. Next week, hopefully, I'm not going to go in depth of defenses. I'm not going to go in depth of on kickers because it's defenses. We already know who the top defenses are. You don't get a top defense. You just better pray that that defense does you well that week because there's not that many. You know, you have your top 10, top 20. It's kind of like your tight ends. I feel like I should beat in the head with that. Next week, I will just talk about updates. PPR is points per reception. I forgot that I'm talking to, some non-fantasy people. Yes, points per reception is what PPR stands for. I like PPR leagues because you get points just for them catching it, which is easy points. Next week, I will be talking about, I'll be looking at, preseason games. I'll probably find some more sleepers out there because there's, like I said, there's a ton. I've only did 5 on each position. I will talk about more. I know there will be basically Moncrief will definitely be on the list. Jesse James will probably be on the list just because, their tight end situation really can't stay healthy up there either. We'll talk about some more sleeper quarterbacks. We don't have Gaga. That's not Gaga. Then tell Dad to come get Gaga. Gaga is, you'll hear it from probably for the rest of the season. Gaga is Baby Shark. See my face? I'm over Baby Shark. Whoever created Baby Shark, I want to chop your hair off. Yes. And kick you in the knee at the same time. But anyways, back to, like I said, I'll find more sleepers. I'll find deeper picks because if you're at a bigger league than I am, because I don't usually go over 12 people. If you're in a 14 or 16 man league, you're going to need more to know more than that. And so that's what next week's show is about. We are going in depth in different positions, especially running back, tight end. Well, not so much tight end, but running back and wide receiver. And even a quarterback, because quarterback, even though you got 20, you still need to find like that gem that people are not looking for. People are might look for. And like I said, I'll update with Cowboys news, but I'm not trying to do too much Cowboys news because my husband's show, The Chain Reaction, will be on, I think tomorrow morning, since our game, the Cowboys game versus the Rams, is in Hawaii and it starts at 9 tonight. So catch his show in the morning, but his show will be after every Cowboys game on Strictly Prohibited Network, Spreaker, and Spreaker on the Strictly Prohibited Network YouTube. As well on Spreaker, you can catch the Red Cup Rants. The guys that are in my chat, they're so helpful and I love them to death. They're going to be on that show. Dex and Mike, Matt chimes in every once in a while, and then we have the host Dre. Dre will be there loud and well this Tuesday at 8 p.m. I said Mike and Dex. You do help. Boy, I tell you about folks. They'll be there Tuesday, live, Spreaker, Anchor, at 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch them, check out the latest topics. And just by the way, this is the last weekend of college football. Starts next weekend. It's the last weekend without it. I'm so excited. I'm ready. I'm super ready for at least some type of football that's not considered preseason because I miss football. It's in my veins. But check us out. Twitter, SP Network _1. You can find us. Find us there. Sports Twitter, Sports Diva 82. That's mine. We're all over. I write weekly articles I post them everywhere, but they're on WordPress. It's Sports Diva _LD. I write my updates for fantasy. All my fantasy is under there. So check it out. Check it out. I love everybody that came and talked to me today, even though y'all some fools in my chat. Thanks for coming. And I will talk to you guys next week. Peace out.